Welcome to the Salt Stream, the All Salt Stream. Hi. Hello. Welcome to Salty Sweet Games. No, it's just Salty Games now, where we shenanigan, sob, and smooch our way through tabletop role-playing games and scream our way through various video games. I'm salty. There ain't no sweet here. And these various assorted spices are my friends. Hi. Hello. Everything's actually fine. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, our long-running Pulp Cthulhu campaign. Yeah, hello. You might notice a certain, that one missing, but that's fine. Because we're still here, and it's all going super well so far. No one made any mistakes with the tweet. The live tweet, nobody messed that up. So don't worry about it. We have some channel shoutouts to do, starting with Roll20, our virtual tabletop of choice, which unites gamers across any distance with easy-to-use tools that run straight from your web browser for free. Did you know that Salty Games is part of their Spotlight program, which highlights indie tabletop creators all across the interwebs? Yeah, that's right. This channel of High Sodium is also sponsored by Dice Envy and Grinding Coffee Co., two awesome companies. If you like your physical click-clack math rocks dice, or you like your delicious soaked bean juice coffee, then you will find something you like at either one of these awesome companies. We have affiliate links and discount codes with them that usually appear in chat, because usually someone's doing the commands while I talk, but not today. Today I'm doing both. Ha 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 ha. There we go. Amazing, incredible, stunning, and brave. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, gifted subs, followed, commented and liked on YouTube, just hung out in chat. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We also, with Streamlabs, by the way, they have monthly tipping if that is your deal and you feel like supporting us through another avenue. You are welcome to. That is a thing now, and I would do the command if I remembered it. That's not it. But you can do it. It'll be on a timer later. This is going really well so far. If you would like to affect the game, you can look down below in the Affect the Game panel, where it says something like how you can affect the game. You can click on the little header. It'll take you to our Streamlabs tip jar. $5 or 500 bits gets you a reroll to gift to one of the investigators who's present. Or an Eldritch gift, that's for $10. What is that, 1,000 bits? Something like that for Eldritch gifties, which everybody always appreciates and are always good. What else? Oh, you could heal someone. You could save someone from dying. Probably Kienna's character. Probably. You know, they like to dive into the action head first, be right on the front lines. So that's what they'll be doing today. Anyway, we should talk to someone else after I tell you about how we use safety tools, lines, veils, accent and no cards, stars and wishes, and content warnings, because while the characters may be put through hell or have, you know, the GM terribly treat them, maybe. I don't do that. The players are here to have fun, and they're our priority always. We're going to talk to them. I'm not going to go that way. Not that way. This way. Hi, Allie. Welcome to the Salt Stream. What do you think so far?
Hi, I'm Allison, and I'm terrified. Utterly terrified.
Good.
I play Ganymede Graves, adventure scientist, who is
yes,
casting spells and breaking hearts all over 1925.
Very good.
But also I'm still terrified. Ganymede has 64 out of 70 of her sanity points. I feel like I have lost all of mine this morning after that intro, so.
Yeah. You've only lost 6 sanity? Oh, well, you got a bunch back.
Yeah. Bring
Wow.
it. Bring it.
Okay.
Bring it, kiddo.
All right. Summer, what do you have to say?
What's up? What's
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Hi. It's me, Summer. Yeah. Hello. Hi. I'm Summer. I use she, her pronouns, and today I am playing one Mr. Charlie Rapp, who uses he, him pronouns. And what to say about Charlie?
So much.
Every
to say.
week, I'm just overcome with emotion describing my perfect boy. He's rich, he's handsome, he's very good at futzing with machinery.
Also true.
Every time he tries to, he's basically perfect in every single way, and he can talk to ghosts. And his inner demon, which is not a metaphor for anything, it's just literally a demon that lives inside of him, is filled with trauma. So he's holding a lot. He's holding a lot of baggage on his shoulder. Heavy. So heavy, it's crushing.
Yeah. Heavy is the head that wears the probably cursed crown.
Yeah. I'm definitely touching it, probably putting it on. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Don't forget that part.
Yeah.
Good. And let's head over to Eli. Hello.
Hey folks, I'm Eli. I use he, they pronouns. Today I am playing a professor of the occult at Miskatonic University, Winston Finn, but you can call him Winnie. He's having a great time, TBH. Nothing bad has ever happened to him on this trip, but minus some gunfire. That's irrelevant, but he's good. His friends aren't. Specifically Charlie is not very, but it's still a chill trip. We got some camels. We're in the outback. They're definitely not. There's nothing out here trying to kill us. Definitely,
Nope.
It's a great vacay. We're having a good time.
Yeah. The outback, of course, is notoriously hospitable. So,
Free drinks and all.
yeah, it's a good time. If you have never joined us before, here's a quick rundown of the campaign so far. The investigators came together over the murder of their good friend Jackson Elias, who was investigating the infamous Carlisle expedition, the members of which were all formerly presumed dead. That led him, and now you all, to a conspiracy involving various death cults around the world. Many names, many forms, but all the same and to one end. You know that these cults are amassing in specific locations around the globe and working together to build a machine that will rupture and taint the sky to open the gate for their god, Nyarlathotep. You have figured out that the date of the machine's launch will coincide with the solar eclipse on January 14th, 1926. How many days, Allie? Yeah.
204. 204 days from today.
That's right. And that a great ritual will be performed in precise synchronicity with the launch. You are in Australia to find the origin or the backup of this machine, which has taken you into the outback to find an ancient hidden city. To be specific, last time Charlie's consciousness was temporarily swapped with an alien being, one who referred to itself as Yith, and told him to help Kakak attack. But there was no time to deal with the trauma this caused. The group boarded a steamer for a week-long transport to Port Hedland to meet one Robert Mackenzie, a friend of the Cowles, who had been making arrangements for your excursion into the Great Sandy Desert. He drove you inland to Concudgery, a mining town, and took you to the local pub, which was buzzing with all kinds of stories, some of which you suspected to be tall tales and others that sounded all too real and familiar. You spoke to Mad Ginger Muldoon, who was deep in his drinks after apparently seeing the ghost of a man named Bill Buckley at Dingo Falls, which happens to be on your route to the coordinates of the Lost City. The next day, you went to pick up your equipment from Mortimer Wycroft and his charming daughters. All three of them. Though there was this air of suspicion to your interactions with them. And indeed, when you stopped to make camp, after, telling them where you were going, the device of rods, wheels, and mirrors had disappeared from your belongings. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? Yeah, it sounds good to me. So, it is the evening of Wednesday, June 24th, 1925, 204 days till the apocalypse. After taking breaks during the hottest parts of the day, you make camp near the watering hole that is Dingo Falls around sunset. Cowles is kind of busying himself with making camp. He is not good at it, but Ava is. So you have a bit of time. What do you do?
I'm gonna take a little stroll. I'm gonna take a little walk around and get the vibe, get the general vibe of the area.
Sure. Excellent.
If that's chill with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Hello, spirits. What's up? It's me.
Ya boy. Yeah, so we'll have you make a medium check, and Winnie and Ganny. Nice, hard success, perfect. What about you, Winnie and Ganny? What are you two up to?
I think I'm trying to help Ava with the camp setup. And also just looking and making sure that we weren't there's no one creeping in the distance. Oh yeah,
sure.
Shit.
Make a spot hidden check.
So good at those.
Nice. Okay. Kienna took that bad rolling energy with them. So good. Cool. I will keep that in mind. Nothing stands out to you for now. It does seem a pretty desolate place. I wonder if you can see. Allie, how many miles do you think somebody can see in the dark?
In the dark?
Yeah.
On flat ground?
Yeah.
And clear sky?
Uh-huh.
It depends on what...
Let me look up the moon cycle. Of course, how could I forget about the moon cycle? No.
How dare you forget her? She's a beautiful, beautiful girl.
She is. I need to get there. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I almost forgot. I can't believe I wasn't tracking the moon. June 24th. It's pretty dark. It's a waxing crescent.
Yeah. If something is lit, then it can be seen for a great distance, probably a couple of miles, maybe more. If it is not, it probably is going to have to be within a quarter mile.
Okay. Jim. Yes. Then I will say, with that hard success, you do see a light out toward the east from where you are. It is pretty flat between you and whatever this is. It's not moving, it is stationary. So that is what you see, but nobody creeping. All quiet, except for the snakes that are probably near, but you're getting a fire going, so you'll be fine. What about you, Ganymede?
As Ganymede is looking through our gear, she discovers that the device is missing. And she looks around for a few moments. Can I see Mr. Mackenzie?
Did you want Mr. Mackenzie to have come with you?
Oh, he didn't come with us. I thought that he was coming. Okay.
But if you want him to, he can. He
No.
Outback.
No, not necessary. I'll just be angry by myself then.
Okay.
Then I will make my way to the others and let them know. What about Dr. Cowles, though, is certainly nearby.
Yeah, he's bumbling with the tent.
Yeah, I approach him and begin helping him.
Mm-hmm.
And as I do, I say, Doctor, I'm curious. Mr. Mackenzie, how well do you know him?
He was a good friend of my colleague McWhirr. McWhirr obviously trusted him, and he, I don't know, he's always struck me as very trustworthy. I mean, he put together this, all this equipment that is very necessary to surviving in the outback. He says.
Yes.
With full of knowledge.
Yes, well. And I think that's it. I think she just sort of trails off. She'll vaguely help him set the tent up, but I'm not going to tell him that I've noticed the device is missing.
Okay. Ava is over with Winnie, getting the fire going, and she kind of notices you staring out at the light, Winnie, and looks with you after she drops a few bit of kindling into the fire. And she says, I wonder if that's old Slattery's place.
Is that someone we need to be worried about, or?
Quite likely. I'm not sure if Mr. Mackenzie mentioned this, but Vern Slattery and his sons are... Well, people in Concudgery usually recommend to avoid them when anyone's out this way. I've kind of heard that through the grapevine. He's a drunkard. Kind of violent. Doesn't like people on his property.
Well, yes, we seem to be a good distance from them, I guess. Hopefully.
I suppose.
I sort of look over at Charlie. He doesn't seem to be veering in that direction, does he?
No. Actually, let's go over to Charlie now that we've established what everybody is up to. Charlie, with your hard success on your medium check. I think if you close your eyes or just focus on your breathing and your hearing, the wind, kind of as it moves over the sand toward the rocks at the falls, sounds like low moan. And of course, you know the difference between your ears playing tricks on you with this kind of thing and a moan of pain and sadness. I think there's also this sound of like it's like a whistling, but not quite, like a bag of air or something is being like compressed, but something's wrong with it. That's how I guess I'd describe it. Almost like a musical instrument that's broken, you can kind of make that sound out on the wind too. And that's when the smell hits you. The smell of burnt flesh. There is certainly something supernatural in this area, and that kind of tug you sometimes get is coming from the watering hole itself, from the falls.
Yeah, I think then Charlie would begin to move in the direction that he feels like pulled. And it's like, I mean, it's like a watering hole. So does it seem like deep?
Not particularly. Why don't you make me a spot hidden check? Nice, hard success. So kind of behind the water that's coming down and above the pool, it's difficult to see, but you can make out these kind of maybe caves, these kind of steep, deep stone caves that start kind of behind the water and go back into the rock that's here. It looks like they probably go down a bit into the rock itself, so you can't possibly see their bottom from where you are.
Yeah.
But there are 3 of them.
And do I feel like pulled in that direction, like toward the caves? Okay. Yeah, I think Charlie's gonna like continue to make his way over there. I don't think he's like, is it like hard to get to them?
I mean, it's they're a little higher up on the wall. It's slick there, but it doesn't present you any like major difficulty.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think he's just headed that way then. Like he's just like, going to. It's like he's like checking it out. Like he can't not go check it out. Especially if there's like 3 separate ones. He wants to like he's like trying to like figure out like where that energy is coming from, you know? Like if it's from just like this place as a whole, or if it's like from a particular one of the caves. I don't think he's gonna like fully like go in, but he wants to know where to go in later. Yeah.
So there's the left, the middle, and the right. And right now, at this moment, you don't feel compelled toward any particular one.
Okay, cool.
Though, yeah, I'd say right now, one doesn't stand out.
Okay. Yeah, I think then he's just gonna kind of like dip in like the entrance and kind of like take a look around. Or they're just like like wet caves, right? Okay. Yeah, he's taking a look around just to see if there's anything like any markings or anything weird like that. But if he doesn't see anything, he just like makes a note of it. Because what time is it when we're like walking around right now?
It's probably sunset, or it's actually probably a little after at this point.
Yeah, I think Charlie's waiting, but he is gonna head back to the group for now. I think as he's like coming up to the group, like getting set up, that kind of thing. So these caves, are they well explored or documented? And I think like he's kind of looking towards is he Professor Cowles?
Yeah. Professor Cowles looks kind of put on the spot. He kind of scratches through his bushy hair. I'm not sure. I mean, people searching for gold used to live around these parts. That was their main interest, but I think that's all been confirmed as dried up now.
Okay. I think that I might want to take a peek inside after we get set up.
Irene, who has been sketching by the fire, kind of raises her eyebrows at you, Charlie.
Very Irene.
Thank you.
Ganymede is not right there, but close enough to hear. And as she's stringing up the last of the tent lines, she calls over her shoulder. Wasn't aware that you'd taken up spelunking, Charles. Or is there something else we should know?
No, nothing to know. Just, following my intuition. Yeah, he hasn't mentioned to either of the Cowls yet that he has psychic abilities, but so he's gonna keep that one quiet for the moment.
Yeah.
But of course, anyone is welcome to join me.
I would, of course, but someone should keep an eye on camp.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, I agree.
Ava says, you'll probably need some equipment. It's dark.
Fair enough. Can take a lamp with me.
Is anyone going to accompany Mr. Rapp?
Yeah, Ganymede's already sorting through equipment and pulling out a lantern and probably a rope.
Yeah, Winnie's, would I know if Professor Cowles or Ava have a gun? Like just on them to protect themselves?
You would know that they do not.
Great.
Irene does, though, and it's a very good shot.
Okay. Cool.
And she doesn't look like she's getting up.
Irene is settled in.
She's made a nest.
I think with that, Winnie would just look over to all of them and say, just if anything happens, just call out and hopefully we'll be in range to hear you. But we shouldn't be long, hopefully.
Irene looks up at you and says, you'll probably hear the gunshot before anything else.
And that is true.
Goes back to sketching. What is she sketching? Oh, just the outback. Just things in the outback. Ooh, probably the device, since it's gone. Needs to keep a good record of it. Okay. So precisely what are you taking with you?
Probably like a pickaxe. If we have like a pickaxe, that'd be sick.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. Anything you would have on an expedition to a potentially underground city. So.
Yeah. Pickaxe.
Yeah.
Pickaxe, some rope, lantern, maybe 2 lanterns.
What kind of lantern?
Oil, baby.
Okay, so
I would think so.
fire-based.
Yeah, I would think so.
Cool.
And some, basic climbing gear, like pitons and some anchors in case we need them. Ganymede's not an expert, but probably knows enough to keep them safe.
Nice. Who's carrying the lanterns?
Charlie will carry one because he's planning on like leading because he's following his gut,
Yeah.
his spiritual gut.
Mm-hmm.
So Charlie probably has one at least. Cool. I would recommend we bring 2 just in case. Something happens to one. Okay. I know you, Lauren. I know what's up.
Yeah, seriously.
What?
I'm not gonna be left in the dark in this place.
Yeah, that's the problem. The dark. The dark's the problem. Okay.
And Eli, did you say Winnie's carrying the other one?
Yes.
Excellent.
Good. Because Ganymede kind of puts the rope up over her shoulder and before they set out and in full view of our friends, will load up her sawed-off shotgun with the boarding axe on the end of it.
Oh my, that's quite the weapon you've got there.
Yes, well, can't be too careful, can we?
Right. Makes sense with everything you've told us. I think Ava says, did you make that yourself?
No, I designed it. A friend of mine in Shanghai actually put it together for me. Do you like it?
It's not subtle.
No, it's not. I found that that at the times that I needed most, subtlety is the furthest from my mind.
She smiles.
All right, shall we?
Okay. So you head back to Dingo Falls proper. And as you go, I want spot hidden checks from everybody again. Nice. Hard success for Charlie, failure for Winnie, and success for Ganymede. So, as you're going, Charlie, maybe it's the bit of extra light, but not too close to you. A few meters off, you see just like a small figure dart behind a rock.
Ew. Okay, I'm gonna go look behind the rock.
Okay. You're just gonna walk over there?
Yeah, it's just like a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's it gonna be? An animal? Fine. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Small figure. Probably an animal. Probably a rat or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You go around the rock with your light, and you see kind of ducked behind the rock is a 10-year-old boy.
Okay. Well,
Tiny
it's not
for his age.
definitely not a rat. Okay.
He just looks up at you with big eyes.
Is he like, what's he wearing? What's going on?
He's wearing kind of ratty clothes. Not so much that you think he just like lives here, like right here or anything like that.
I'm not like, this is a cave dweller. I'm
Right.
like, this is this kid who's here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a golem situation. Okay.
No. He has he's tiny. He has dark skin and kind of light, kind of shock blonde hair. And as you approach, he kind of clutches something to him.
I'm not going to do anything to you. Hi, hello. My name's Charlie.
He doesn't say anything.
You know, if you were spying on us, you can just say so. You won't be in any trouble.
Kind of looks around you to see what the other two are doing.
You would obviously see Charlie like go. He sees something. He like goes around a rock, and then he starts talking out loud to someone.
Yeah.
Even if you can't see the child, like.
Yeah, I think Winnie's trying to like just give a respectful distance, like so that they feel like we're not listening, but I can also hear and also jump in if something goes bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping an eye around us as best as I can.
These are my friends. They're harmless.
He says something, but the language you don't understand. It seems phrased like a question, but...
Yeah. Charlie's just gonna... I think if it seems phrased like a question, Charlie's going to give an answer. I think he just kind of says, like... We are, explorers. We're going in the cave, and he's like pointing down like towards the caves, right?
The child's eyes get pretty big when you kind of gesture toward the cave.
I think he says, "Oh, what are you holding?" and like gestures to the boy like clutching something.
Yeah. He kind of grasps it a little tighter when you, like, reference it.
He puts his hands up like he's not going to take it, right? He just wants to see it.
So I can hear this, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of, like, casually approach so that it doesn't look like I'm, like, gunning for this kid or whatever. And I pull out a device that sort of looks like a telephone but has a bunch of like just weird add-ons added to it, and it just looks completely foreign to most people. Just try getting him to talk again.
As you move closer, he definitely, like, backs up, but he doesn't, like, full out sprint away. Although when you start to, like, pull out this device, he kind of stops and, like, looks at it. Kind of looks at whatever's in his hand. Back of the device.
This is a friend. He's not going to hurt you. Winning smile.
Yeah. The kid responds with a smile, but Winnie, do you have to, like, hold up a bit to your ear or anything with this?
I think it has, like, a handheld setting and a speaker setting.
Nice.
I think I have it on the speaker setting.
You have it on the speaker.
Amazing.
Incredible. So the boy is smiling, and he does have a very kind of charming smile like you do, Charlie. But he says, well, if you hurt me, I'll hurt you right back. But he's
shit.
smiling. And then kind of like hears his voice again, you know, a few seconds after he spoke.
Yeah, Charlie looks at the thing that Winnie like brought out. I wouldn't have I ever seen this before, or was this something like was Winnie like working on this when we knew each other?
I think you probably heard him talking about because it was something that like it was just theory at that point.
Yeah.
And probably in between the last time we met and this time he like got it together.
Yeah. Okay.
Found it.
Yeah. So he like looks at it like eyes wide, like super impressed. Because that's cracked. That's crazy. And so, yeah, he He looks at Winnie and says, "Can he understand me too?"
Does it work both ways?
No. But make a psychology check.
I'm gonna use a reroll.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No! This is Kienna's fault.
Jail.
They came back in
Why
here.
would Kienna do this?
Why? Yeah. Yeah. It does not work both ways. That's what you know.
Charlie looks back at the boy and says, "We're not going to hurt you." He, I think kind of like kneels down. So he's like below the boy's eye level, like even if he is like small for his age, to be like a non-threatening presence, right? Like, we're just trying to, I'm looking for something unusual. And I think like Charlie, it's like is it mud? Is it stone? Like on the ground in the cave?
It looks to be rock.
Rock. Okay. He's gonna just pick up like a little like stone or like pebble or something, and he's gonna kind of like carve on the rock. Just like the super, like where it makes that like this little outline scratch, right?
Yeah.
And he's basically just gonna draw a very crude, like basically just like a little crude sketch of like a ghost, like the most basic representation of a ghost that he can draw, like spirit kind of vibe. And he like taps it. He's like, "This is what I'm looking for."
The kid doesn't say anything, but he kind of picks up his own rock, and kind of approaches your drawing. And starts to draw on it. He draws kind of a wide-brimmed felt hat on top. Draws a big kind of beard around the face. And kind of just taps it.
Charlie looks at him and is like, "Is it down in the cave?"
He nods.
Great. He looks at Winnie with a smile. "It's in the cave."
Are you scared of it? Talking to the kid.
Yeah. He kind of shrugs, like big man.
Can I psychology check?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit.
Yeah. Just can't read him.
Can't read
you know?
kids. They're so
Kid
elusive.
They are.
Crazy kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. If you would like to come with us, you can. I would prefer you just... Charlie, like, gestures along, like, come with us, rather than lurk.
He kind of like narrows his eyes a bit at lurk, but you're not sure if he doesn't understand or if he's offended.
When he went to draw on top of Charlie's drawing,
Yeah.
did I get a better look at what he was like trying to hold to his
Absolutely.
chest?
It's about this big. metal. With like holes in one side, holes or openings.
No idea what that is. Do you want to? And I think when he holds out the phone to the kid and just says, "Can you show me what you have, and I can show you what I have?"
He nods really excitedly and kind of pushes what he has into your hand while grabbing the part of the device and like examining it. And what he pushes into your hand is a harmonica.
Oh shit! Does it have any like engravings or anything on it?
It does.
Oh shit! I love it.
Oh damn! Oh damn! Scratched into the casing is the name Buckley.
And Charlie, did you tell us about this whole situation? Yeah. So I just show it to Charlie. This is who we're looking for, right?
I would think so. Yeah. Unless there's another one.
Do you think this will help us at all, or?
It's a harmonica, but it doesn't hurt to bring along. If this spirit has any humanity left in it, reminding them of things from home can always be like an emotional trigger to help bad feelings like snap back. So if it was a beloved item, then yes, could help.
Yeah, I kind of just, it's like, I don't want to give this kid this thing, but the only other things I have are a gun and a very fancy pants pocket watch. So,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you should come if you know about this coast. You should definitely join us. Yes.
Yeah, he nods, kind of puts his hands on his hips and puffs out his chest a bit, and then points at himself and goes, "Jacko."
Yeah. Charlie.
Winnie.
He points to Ganymede. Or Ganny.
At the sound of her name, she's had her back to all of this as she's been kind of standing guard. But she turns, and in the light of the lanterns, you can see she has a bit of a sour look on her face. And she says, "Do we really think it's wise to take a child with us into these caves?"
Probably not wise, but he has a harmonica and we probably need it. Not to mention he doesn't seem too afraid of whatever's down there. Brave kid.
A harmonica.
Yes.
He kind of pushes the device back in your hand, Winnie, and takes the harmonica and kind of like struts over to Ganymede. Looks up at you and like smiles that same like really charming smile and kind of shows you the harmonica.
Yeah, she she's had the shotgun kind of up against her shoulder, so it's pointed up and in a safe direction, of course. But she looks down. I don't know. Have we ever been around kids? I don't think we've had a chance to see. Yeah. She kind of looks down her nose a little bit, and is just like, yes, harmonica.
Charlie gives Kienna a look, because if we had just found the harmonica, if somebody else had given it to us, Kienna would be like, let me see that shit. Would be looking all over trying to figure out when it was made, like where it came from, and it's because it's got this grimy kid's hands. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, ma'am?
He like wraps his hand back around it and then reaches out to take your hand, Ganymede.
Kids know. They know. They know.
Yeah,
I know you don't like
Ganymede sort of does that thing with their hands, like, oh, okay. And she'll take his hand. Oh, look, a friend.
So sweet, Ganny.
She just a deep sigh.
Yeah, Charlie will lead the way for the group into the cave. Lantern out.
Yeah, which cave?
Looking for a ghost. Whichever one the kid points to. I'll ask. I'll like point and I'll be like, ghost, ghost, ghost.
He kind of like holds like with the harmonica, like holds his hand like he's thinking. Points at the middle one.
Great. Yeah. Charlie will down the middle one.
Yeah.
Do it. Is there any like check I can do to just see if like it's like if I'm getting like stronger vibes down the middle one at this point? Or is it that same ambient, like there's just energy?
Right now it seems ambient.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so with the climbing equipment and some of Ganymede's experience, I'm not going to require a climb check. It is steep though, so it's slow going. And
Can I make a climb check just so that I can roll for it?
Yeah,
when this...
sure.
Thank you.
You're nuts. That counts for all of us. Can I count a mark success too for that one?
No.
Okay.
But Ganymede is going to speed things up for you. Finds the kind of safe path in. So no danger of tumbling to your doom. Although as you go, everybody make a listen check.
Ooh.
Nice. Hard success. Failure. Okay.
I'm gonna use the 3 points.
Okay. As you reach toward the bottom of the cave, Ganymede and Charlie, you can make out hissing and slithering.
Like, before we get to the bottom?
Yeah, with that climb check especially. A lot.
Oh dear.
I think like rather than like say anything, I think Charlie just makes like a low hissing sound as they're walking. Like he hears it and he starts to mimic it. Like
Winnie just gives you this look of, what the fuck are you?
snakes ahead.
Understandable. Okay.
Ganymede.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, since you're with him, you notice Jacko kind of snort laugh. Kind of covers his mouth.
I look down at him. With the sternness that only the graduate of a British women's college can muster. And I say, Is there any way around the snakes, Jacko?
He says something. Do you still have the device out, Winnie? Okay. He says, I think it might have been the other cave.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie just looks over once the device relays the message. Do the caves connect?
He shrugs.
Charlie, or Ganymede looks at Charlie and Winnie and gives them a quick, stealthy wink and says, I think we should send this one down first. Can scout the way for us. And I begin gathering up the rope. We could just lower him down. You could call up if there's any danger. I'm sure we'd pull you up very quickly.
That's true, and there's
Yanks
more.
his hand.
There's more than one story about music lulling snakes to sleep, and you've got a perfect instrument right there.
Of course, of course. We're so fortunate to have found you, Jacko.
He looks at you, Winnie.
Winnie has this look of, because he caught the wink,
Yeah.
but what followed was and I think he just looks back at Jacko and is like, are you up for it? Without the laughing. Eli's laughing, not Winnie.
He actually says, again in this language, he says, fuck you. He
Charlie
smiles.
Charlie just smiles back. But clearly laughing, thinks it's funny that the kid is whatever. Charlie just sighs and is like, well, we've wasted time. But not much else. We can turn around, head back, and try the other two caves, and Jacko can be on his merry way. We can do without the harmonica. It would be helpful, but... And he's, not speaking to Jacko. Charlie knows that Jacko at least knows enough to kind of get the basics of what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. Charlie is, kind of reverse psychologing the kid.
Yeah.
Being like, well, we don't really need the kid, so we'll just do it on our own. He can go.
Make a charm check or something.
I'd love to. I get my bonus on the charm.
Yeah.
So 54. A 4.
4.
So,
shit.
Extreme.
He starts kind of rapidly saying, I can help.
You haven't yet. Charlie just looks over at him.
He kind of raises one of his little, light blonde eyebrows, so it's hard to see. He says, you don't even know when the ghost comes.
At this point, all you've done is waste our time. So, we'll figure it out. I'm sure the ghost will make itself known.
Crosses his little arms. Kind of kicks at the ground. I can show you what the ghost showed me.
And Charlie kind of looks over at Ganymede and when he I don't know, this kid, he's such a prankster. He's probably lying. Listen, if you actually can show us something, then I'd love to see it. But fool me once.
He looks like kind of like, yeah, he did. And then like starts like climbing up the cave.
Charlie will just gesture and be like, whatever, let's go. Like Charlie, I think that the thing is like Charlie doesn't feel like super like pressed for time.
Yeah.
The energy's super like low key. It's a snake pit, whatever. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, you should go.
Yeah, we should go. We're gonna go.
Yeah, you should go. Ganymede, make a natural world check.
Shit in the freaking outback is scary and killer. Charlie in the mood. He's not gonna stick around for that.
Aww.
It's okay.
I'll use it.
Is it worth it?
No, I won't.
Yeah.
Take the fail.
You didn't get a good look, obviously, because you heard it before you got too close. But yes, you know shit out here is lethal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we're kind of making our way back up and preparing to enter one of the others, I also want to be looking for any markings in the stone or using my archaeological skill to just to see if there's anything of archaeological significance with these caves.
Okay. Yeah, you can make a check.
Nice. Never mind.
Yeah. Not really sure. Nothing, certainly, like, you're an expert. Nothing that stands out to you.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Okay, so you head back out, and kind of at the mouth of the cave, the moon is higher in the sky. So with what little light it has, and your lanterns, of course, Jacko kind of pulls a few sheets of paper out of his trousers and kind of lays them on the rock.
Yeah, Charlie comes over to watch whatever he's doing.
So on the pieces of paper, there are images kind of drawn in wax crayon, you would think. There are a couple of kind of bat-like creatures, but with some almost like let's see, how would I describe this? Oh, I think I have a picture. Let's go to the other scene. Boom. Here you go. These kind of bat-like creatures, but with no real face, like no eyes. And he has scrawled 1921 on the paper. And there's another kind of not as detailed drawing of a creature with a three-lobed eye, like what you saw, Charlie, in your vision of the Yith.
Yeah, crazy. Okay. Yeah, so these are like on these pieces of paper, right? Charlie's gonna like gesture to see if he can like look at them closer.
He nods. And there's certainly an expression of, it's not the same kind of like cocky look on his face as he shows you these. Yeah.
So, you haven't seen any of these things for yourself?
He says, the ghost came into me and I saw them.
That must have been very scary for you.
shrug again.
Well, I've had ghosts come into me and show me things too. And even I get scared. When he showed you, did it look like a familiar place? Where these were? And he kind of points to the bat creature.
He turns over one of the pages and shows you, and almost exactly like the photograph that Cowell showed you, Winnie, those kind of stone monoliths in the desert, it looks the same.
Well, we'll be going there, probably. Definitely. But, for this exact moment, we need to talk to a ghost.
As you say that, you hear that sound on the wind again, and now that you've seen the harmonica, it sounds like kind of a broken down harmonica, and Jacko hears it too, and he immediately douses your lamps and kind of like crouches by the edge of the cave.
Charlie will do the same. He'll crouch down, out of sight of the cave, I guess. Mm-hmm. He's like, okay, kid interacted with and lived the ghost. Like, Charlie's going to follow kid's lead in dealing with ghost for the current moment, for the present.
Yes,
I'll
also
gesture to the other.
cover, getting behind cover if it's available anywhere.
Yeah. As you kind of crouch, you're higher up and you have a clear kind of line of sight to the camp and to the east. And you see a figure, and the reason you can see the figure, it does not carry any light, but it is almost glowing.
Is it moving? Wait, where is it moving toward us?
It's coming from the east, kind of toward the falls.
Okay. Charlie points at it, like, to the kid, like, is that it?
He nods.
I think Charlie's gonna wait for it to get closer to the falls. Mm-hmm. But then he is gonna step out. I'm a party boy.
Yeah. As it's gotten closer, it certainly doesn't look like what Mad Ginger Muldoon described. Mm-hmm. It looks like what would be referred to as like a swag man, like travels around picking up jobs,
Mm-hmm.
but with that kind of transparency, that glow.
Mm-hmm.
And that sound of the broken harmonica.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of step out to where you're visible in the light of the moon. And the ghost stops, who's a little below you.
Mm-hmm.
Looks up at you and kind of does a beckoning gesture.
Charlie will look at at Jacko and say, "Can I have that?" and points to the harmonica.
Kind of grasps it to his chest.
Spirits can't take things with them when they go. You'll get it back.
Kind of. Yeah, I think he'll hand it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Charlie will take it and then head down to meet the spirit.
As you go down from that cave, the ghost starts to head up. And the strange thing is that you have to assume it's floating, but it kind of turns its back to the cave wall and its head goes slack, and it's more like it's being dragged up as you're coming down.
Yeah.
Into the right hand cave.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like Charlie, my inference is that this is like the final moments of his life. Like I'm seeing how he was like brought into that cave in the first place. That's what Charlie is kind of like thinking, but Charlie will follow up towards that cave.
In the dark?
In the dark.
What about Ganymede and Winnie? Winnie, how's seeing your first ghost going?
It's not fun. Winnie is battling between like Charlie knows what he's doing. This kid probably won't let Charlie get hurt. Ganymede doesn't seem to like jump into action right now, and this whole situation is fucked. And if something goes wrong and we can't see Charlie, we're fucked. So he's kind of trying to look to other people for cues on what to do. But once again, like, this is all theory for Winnie. And like having that like in front of him is not a great time.
Charlie is like very clearly moving cautiously, but does not seem afraid.
Yeah. Ganymede?
Ganymede is cautious as well, but curious. So she's going to continue to follow, but she's keeping a really close eye on Charles at this point, and ready to spring if she needs to protect him.
Yeah, I think Charlie would kind of like, as he's like moving, if he sees Ganny coming up behind him, it would just put a hand like kind of back to just be like, just give me space. Like, as long as you're not like up in this interaction, like it's fine. He just doesn't want pressure, external pressure on the spirit to like ruin anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Charlie's moving.
I'll stay back 20 to 25 feet.
Yeah, he's not saying don't come. He's just saying,
right,
like, give us a bubble.
Okay. Are you using your climbing equipment, or are you just kind of... How are you getting down the cave?
Yeah. Charlie will... Yeah, he'll use whatever climbing equipment. He obviously was paying attention when Ganny was helping them get down the first time. I think it's like a lot more slow going for him. He wants to be careful because like the last thing that he needs is to like fall and break something. But yeah, he'll use the same like kind of climbing gear. He's just a little bit slower at doing so.
Okay. So you start moving downward. Yeah, and you can see with the glow of this spirit kind of like he's being dragged down.
Yeah.
All the way to the bottom, another 60 feet. That ends in this pile of debris.
Okay. That's not chill, but okay.
Yeah. And you can, as he's kind of brought down and like stops in the middle of this pile, the form bursts into flame, though you can't feel any heat. It's almost like a movie, right? Though you in particular, Charlie, and I think even at the mouth of the cave, can hear screaming as the ghost in front of you, Charlie, kind of takes the form that Mad Ginger Muldoon was describing, kind of the melting flesh, the phosphorus eyes.
Yeah, something clearly happened. Charlie doesn't know exactly what dragged him, what set him on fire, like how this happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that this, I don't know. Basically, so this is clearly inhuman, right? Like this. Also, the kid said it showed him something weird. That the spirit showed him that bat and that. Oh, Charlie doesn't know what to do. Okay, me either. Okay, I think that Charlie's just gonna stand his ground. He's not gonna run.
Yeah.
And he's gonna like even step forward toward the spirit. Is it moving towards him?
No, it's on the ground in this pile, and it looks like you're watching a man burn alive.
Yeah.
You also notice that, and maybe all of you noticed this before, as this form appeared, that its feet were bare. And his feet are still bare in this kind of melted form. It looks like it's coming to like a climax in front of you, and like the fire kind of builds and builds and then goes out. And when it goes out, the spirit is gone. And all that remains is this pile of something.
Charlie hates it so bad. He's gonna go over to the pile. And I think like kneel down by it. Does it just seem like ash?
There's certainly ash in there, but you can make out bones.
Bone, yeah.
And they're very obviously human. A bit of remains of clothing too.
I think Charlie is I think that he's going to I don't know that he wants to like touch anything or like disturb anything. But he's going to try and reach out to the spirit. Hold on, I need to look actually. Because I can invite the spirit to talk through me and basically offer him my energy so that he can speak outside of that moment, outside of like that very clearly like captured moment.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to try and do. Yeah, so I can become a channel for outside intelligence, and I open up my own body so that he can communicate. It says that they can talk through my mouth, but they can also manifest as words or phrases that pop into my head. And Charlie's like intention is like, who did this to you? Like, who did this to you? Because clearly it's like the spirit is stuck. And yeah, I'm gonna roll my medium and then extreme success.
Nice.
And then that's my magic points.
Yeah, so tell us what Charlie does.
We've seen like Charlie's like powers, like him engaging in his powers is like a super subtle kind of thing. I think that what Ganny would see, being the closest one, would see Charlie just kind of take his hand and like run it over like by about an inch gap over the pile, just from like from where the head would have been all the way down and ending at like where his feet were, right? That was because that was something that he noticed was the bare feet. And then he just is gonna like I think he'll play the harmonica.
Oh, yeah.
I think like it's a very like simple instrument, and like Charlie's like a dabbler. He like dabbles in stuff. So like, I'm sure he knows like a song on the harmonica. So yeah, he'll just sit there and he's like trying to basically create like a safe space for him to come like into, because like this is a traumatic space. But Charlie's opening up his own like energy. And like he hasn't done this like voluntarily in a minute. I think since the demon came into him, he hasn't really opened himself up fully. So yeah, he's like kind of like opening up that channel to bring in communication. And I think he's like really focusing in his mind on like what happened to you.
Yeah. So as you start, initially, Bill Buckley feels very far away, like he was going back to wherever this kind of loop starts. And then when you play the harmonica, it's like a rush. I think both Ganymede and Winnie feel like the wind into the cave. And you're kind of hit with the intensity of it. As Charlie, you kind of feel your hands like run over the harmonica and squeeze it, run your fingers over where the name is scratched. And yeah, does he possess you, or is it just like communicating through you?
It's like a shared experience. So like basically Charlie's offering over control of his own body, but Charlie's still there. So it's not like the same kind of possession where Charlie like disappears, right?
Yeah.
And like is no longer himself. It's kind of like Charlie is stepping back from his own consciousness. So he's like a spectator of his own body, but he's like there. But he is offering, it's like he's handing the mic over to Bill.
Yeah.
And stepping back from his own body so that Bill has like full control over Charlie.
Yeah. Bill begins to walk toward the mouth of the cave, toward the other three.
Yeah, so all of you would see Charlie like play this song, and then there's like that weird like that rush, and then Charlie stops, and then it's like I think that his entire body posture would change too, right? Lauren? Like it would like very much like mimic the man that they all saw, the spirit that they all saw walk into the cave.
Right.
It's very clearly like not Charlie anymore. Like his everything about him changes to suit this person. It's probably very like, have we seen this before has Ganymede even seen this before? Like full to this level?
I think just with the demon.
Yeah, not like this.
Yeah, not like this passive. Like this is something that I think like Charlie, this is like the shit that he did back in America. Like,
Right.
So for him, this is like super normal, but like for them, this is like, oh, Charlie's normally dealing with like really, really weird and human shit. So it's like, this is like a human spirit actually.
Yeah.
And definitely would be the first time Winnie would see anything like this for sure.
And where's the boy at this point?
He's with you and Winnie.
Okay. Ganymede holds her ground, I think, for this first moment at least, but she calls out, Charles, is everything all right?
When Charlie kind of looks in the direction of your voice, the eyes aren't his.
I look quickly at Winnie and then back.
Winnie's visibly shaking.
Yeah.
Not chill.
And Charlie kind of looks down at Jacko and kind of puts a hand out, and then I don't know if Charlie would do this, but kind of like runs his hand through Jacko's hair like pinches his cheek a little. And will start to move out of the cave.
I look at Winnie, and I think I'm starting to follow, but I look at Winnie and say, has he ever done this before?
He seems like he has. I've never seen this shit. Yeah. So I'm assuming he's never done it in front of you either.
No, not like this.
You've been my barometer for concern this whole time, so that's.
Well, I'm quite concerned at the moment.
Charlie's like vibing.
Yeah.
His own brain, like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, after you.
I almost feel like I want to make a sanity check here.
Oh yeah, you should actually have definitely made a sanity check for the ghost.
I can do that too.
Yeah, everybody do it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Regular success.
Okay. So only Charlie, which makes sense. Charlie, you lose 2 points of sanity.
Sick.
Yeah. So in your head right now, Charlie,
Yeah.
he's not a chatty fellow.
Yeah.
But you are kind of overwhelmed with this feeling, this need for revenge.
I think like Charlie feels that and he's like gonna let it go. I think like, so Charlie's experience with spirits is that like really strong, horrible, like traumatic events can lead to spirits getting stuck and staying behind. And then there's that need for revenge that he can sense that is very clearly like warranted in some way, right? Like Charlie can get that because he feels them like his own emotions, right?
Yeah.
Like he gets that as well, but he also knows that that's probably also contributing to the spirit being stuck here. And Charlie's not saying it. They're not communicating directly where it's like my words to you. It's Charlie pushing his own feelings forward on the spirit. Mm-hmm. I can do rolls if you need me to do like literally anything. But Charlie's pushing forward his own feelings of, dude, you just need to let that shit go. Like you're gone. And so he's like pushing forward, like, what does it accomplish? What do you get? You need to let go. But it's not like a communication. Like Charlie's not saying anything to him. He's just putting his own feelings forward.
Yeah. Let's make opposed power checks.
Oh shit, yeah. I'll probably use one of my rerolls if you're okay with that. Hard success.
Nice. Okay. So you are still in control.
Yeah.
Of this. So you feel these feelings, but you're not overwhelmed by them.
Yeah. Charlie's still letting him walk though.
Yeah.
Charlie's gonna let him get to it. Like if it gets like where I'm thinking, like Charlie's like, well, we're going somewhere to get revenge. Mm-hmm. Charlie's gonna let him get there.
Yeah.
Like Charlie's gonna let him go to see whoever it is that did this because Charlie wants to know.
Yeah.
And also confrontation can be a good thing. So he's like, whatever. If I get shot, it's probably fine. Been shot before, been poisoned like last week. Been stabbed, been shot, been poisoned, and look at me. Hotter than ever.
Incredible. So stunning, so brave.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't turn toward the direction of the camp, though as you kind of pass near it and can see some of the kind of glow of the campfire, you also get another flare-up of anger. So make another power check.
Yeah, is it at... Okay. Yeah, for sure. Reroll, please.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a 19, though.
Yeah, you did.
Damn, pretty intense. That's fine.
So... Hold on. So, Charlie, it's like when he catches sight of, like, the smoke and the flame as you're kind of walking by, the intensity of his anger becomes kind of overwhelming in your body. Like, you feel yourself getting, like, hotter, and he doesn't turn to walk toward the camp, but you feel your body, like, pick up its pace without you really willing it to. And the rest of you see him, like, head toward that light you saw earlier, Winnie, out into the dark.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Like, he audibly says that to Ganymede as he pulls his revolver out of, like, the back of his pants, and he's not, like, pointing it at anything, but just having it ready, just in case.
Yeah. Yes. Wise choice, I think, Professor. Should we try to shake him out of it somehow, do you think?
I don't know. Charlie wanted to figure out how to get this ghost to pass on, and maybe this is helping. But if it gets too dicey, we'll definitely need to knock him out with something to get him out of this.
I should like to trust him, but he has proven himself a bit reckless with these things in the past, and frankly, I don't believe that we can complete our mission without him.
That's true.
But I'm still following.
Okay. Jacko pipes up, and Winnie, I'm assuming you still have your device at hand, says, "We're headed to my house."
Good.
Charlie
Joy.
hears that. And I think the vibe is just different in this house. The vibe is different in this house. Charlie is very much like, no way, dude. Like, he's still not stopping him.
Yeah.
He's not interfering with him.
Yeah.
That is like, he's not even like forcing his own opinions on him. He's putting them out there so that this guy understands where Charlie's coming from. He's like, this kid, you clearly have a connection to this kid. I don't care what his fucking family did to you. Like, no. Like, you are headed down a dangerous road, my dude. Like, this is bad vibes, bad. Yeah, Charlie can see pretty quickly where this is going.
Yeah. You definitely don't feel any animosity toward Jacko.
Yeah, he's a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Charlie is like, you're not gonna hurt the family of this kid. Like, Charlie's making that pretty clear. Like, that's not what this is for.
Yeah. So, after a bit of a walk in the dark, you come to a hovel. It's a small shack that you think maybe has 4 rooms in it. And you would think it would be very hot during the day. It was like metal, basically, like tin walls. There is an outhouse And you see the light on, but you don't see any movement inside. But the Buckley's ghost inside of you kind of stops in front of the outhouse door.
Yeah. Charlie says to him, like, internally, like, you can talk to them.
You just kind of get that anger back. And he starts to walk your body toward the outhouse.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Charlie's still is not fighting back at this point for ultimate control or even to kick him out, right? He wants to see.
Yeah. As you head into the outhouse, the floor is concrete. There's a toilet section and another kind of wider area with this old-looking bathtub with claw feet.
Anyone in here?
Doesn't seem like it, but anybody can make a spot hidden if you're looking around it.
I'll just do like...
Oh,
I'll just let them handle it.
Nice. Yeah. Ganymede, you can spot under the bathtub, or kind of tucked behind it, you can see like what looks like a boot sticking out.
Is it sticking out in such a way that there could be a body attached to it?
No.
Like a person?
No.
It's just the boot.
Yeah. Like it's been stuffed behind the bathtub.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll walk over there and with the axe end of my shotgun, I will pull it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you pull out the boots, they are very worn from time and water. And examining them kind of in the boot tongue on the outside, burned in them, as you would to label something like this, is the name B. Buckley.
Yeah. I hold them up toward Charlie.
Yeah.
And I say, these were yours, I presume.
Charlie, as you feel Bill begin to nod your head, all of you, I guess Winnie would be the one farthest back, kind of near the entrance. Winnie, you feel something press into your back, and all of you hear the cock of a shotgun. And I think that's where we're gonna end the episode. That seems like a good time when everything's super chill and totally good and it's all fine. Look, it's so easy. We should go around and chat with everybody so they can plug their things and we can see what they thought. Let's start with Eli.
Wow. This is no longer a chill vacation for Winnie. I don't know if that was made clear by any of the things that have just happened. But this is going to be fine. It's going to be great. No one's going to die. The ghost is going to move on and we're going to all have a happy ending. I'm manifesting. As I said before, I'm Eli. You can find me at Reliable Elliot on Twitter, where I tweet about all the things I'm doing. Specifically, right now I'm tweeting a lot about I'm running a horror campaign for the spooky season. So if you want in on that, just check out my Twitter and you'll find that information. But yeah, concern.
One concern. I'll remember to to do commands. Yeah, okay, awesome. Let's go over to Summer. How you doing?
Hi, it's me, Summer. I'm doing really good. I love the fact that people are getting to see like a little bit of what Charlie did before he was doing all this shit. What Charlie has been doing since he was a teenager, which is super fun. But we'll see how it ends. It's gonna be fine, probably. I'm not really worried about it. It's gonna be okay. I'm more worried of a man with a shotgun than I am a ghost inside me. I'm Summer. You can find me on Twitter at @justasummerjob. That's where I tweet and retweet about everything that I've got going on. You can find me here every Saturday morning, hanging out, playing this great game. And yeah, for now, that's it. Tomorrow, if you're interested, on my channel, I'm doing a subathon. So it's likely that I will be live for many hours. We'll see. But yeah.
Awesome. And Allie.
I am anxious. I'm very, very anxious.
Sure.
This has been like one of the most anxious episodes in the best possible way that I can recall in this campaign. So it's awesome. And we have a weird science device in the hands of our professor. That was so cool. I love this game so much. So you will find me here every weekend playing it. In between times, you can find me at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y on Twitter, where I tweet about robots and space and games and other cool stuff. So check it out there. The only other thing I have to say is Irene is going to be so pissed at us. Winnie, Ganymede is just going to have to tell you at some point how pissed Irene is going to be at letting Charlie get into this mess. So that's probably the thing we really need to be afraid of at this point.
True terror. Perfect. I am Lauren. I'm that salty ginger over on Twitter, the salty half of this channel. Channel shout outs. Thank you, Roll20, Dice, Emmy, and Grinding Coffee Co. I think somebody got some coffee while we were streaming, so thank you for supporting that awesome company and the channel. What else can I tell you? We'll be back next Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific, to figure out what is going to happen with Buckley's ghost. I think I can announce this now because it's on their website. Next Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific, Kienna is the host of a panel that I am on with RK Wild and Connie Chang, Demystifying Session 0. That's part of the Wizards of the Coast D&D celebration that they're doing, and it's a good panel. You should check it out. We're really excited to share that, but we'll make sure to remind everybody next week. Otherwise, we will see you next time. Follow on YouTube, follow on Twitter for my A+ tweeting that I never make a mistake with, YouTube for the VODs and all that jazz, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.